Now please welcome Milby High School Principal Roy de la Garza.
Okay, so let me start by saying, welcome to Milby High School. So I've got to tell you, when I first got here, it was about 6 years ago. It was 6 years and 1 month, actually, exactly. And I remember when I first got here, I'm sitting behind my desk, brand new principal. I'm looking around and I'm sitting here saying to myself, you know, I've got to figure this out. I've got to learn how to do this job. I've got to do it great. And then all of a sudden, I hear above me a scratch, scratch, scratch. And I look up and I hear scratch, scratch, scratch. And so I go over, and there's this ledge over by my window. It's this big ledge about this big that I could climb up on. I hope risk management's not in the building. But anyway, I climbed up on that ledge, and I stuck my head up in the ceiling, and I saw these two eyes looking back at me. And at first, I thought it was the biggest cat I had ever seen in my entire life, until it turned around and I saw the ringed tail on it. And I'm going to tell you, in the 3 years that we were actually in this building, that was one of about 20 or 30 raccoons that I met. They would just fall through the ceilings. They would do all kinds of things. Now, I need you to understand something about Milby High School, that prior to this building that you're sitting in today, Milby High School was a great school. It has always been a great school. The difference between then and now is that we have a building, we have a facility that honors this great community. And in the end, please. So what we've done, and what you're going to see as you walk around this building today, is you're going to see a little bit of a different setup. We've done what we call academies in the building. So to give you an example, our academies are the Human Services Academy, where we'll have cosmetology, culinary arts, and we have a nursing program. We have engineering and manufacturing, which will include an engineering program, petroleum engineering specifically. We also have welding and HVAC through that. We have an early college, which allows your kids to come to school for 4 years and not only get their high school diploma, but get their associate's degree at the exact same time. We have a fine arts academy because we just realized that our fine arts department was the best in the district. And then we have a 9th grade academy because, well, you need a 9th grade academy. So as you walk around, I want you to soak in everything that you see, but the one thing that I don't want you to do is I don't want you to be too impressed with the place. Because the truth is you haven't seen anything yet. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. De la Garza. I am pleased to introduce the HIZ Superintendent, Richard Carranza.
So good afternoon y buenas tardes. Wait a minute. We're in this brand new building. We can do better than that. Good afternoon y buenas tardes. All I've got to say is it's a great day to be a Milby Buffalo. Go Buffs. So, okay, no more yelling. I do have to tell you how excited we are because this is just a building. And as Principal de la Garza has spoken and said, and our student body president, La Jefa, has said to us, it's really about those students that have walked the halls of Milby and will walk the halls of Milby. I was speaking to one of our state representatives, and she was sharing with me that one time there were 9 elected officials, sitting elected officials, that were all Milby grads. Really? So that says something about the spirit of the school, and what I'm so proud of is that as you walk the school, and I walked it when it was full of mud and they were tearing stuff down, but one of the things that I'm so proud of is that we were able to preserve many parts of the former building and incorporate it into this new 21st century learning facility. And I will tell you that our students have, even though it's just a building, they have one of the finest high schools, not only in Houston, not only in Texas, but in the United States of America, right here at Milby High School. So I'm not going to give a long speech, but I am very thankful that you all are here, that you continue to support your alma mater. I will tell you that our past trustee, el señor Rodriguez, fought long and hard to make sure that Milby High School would get what Milby High School deserved. And there were plenty of breakfasts at the Telwink where we hadn't even finished our hash browns and our eggs, and he was already busting my chops. Mr. Superintendent, are we going to get a pool? We got to get a pool. When's that pool going to happen? And you know they need a pool. And let me tell you all the championships they won. And so he was the biggest supporter of Milby. Even though he graduated from Austin, he loved Milby. So I'm so proud to see his picture here. And I'm also very, very excited to see his lovely family that are here too. This is a celebration for all of us as well. So thank you. But the biggest thank you that I want to give before I turn the microphone over to our trustee, the biggest thank you is to the voters of Houston. Thank you for investing in our children. Thank you for making sure everybody has a facility commensurate with their future dreams and aspirations, and that's what this Milby High School is. So I was telling Principal de la Garza, I even wore my Milby colors, right? Because we're all Milby buffs today. So let's get this party started. Welcome.
Thank you, Superintendent Carranza. Now, please welcome HISD Board of Education Trustee and Milby alumna, Diana Tavila.
Go Buffs! All right, so I got a better story for you, Mr. De La Garza, because you said you were here 6 years ago. I was here 30 years ago. And I walked these old hallways, and I remember when you were giving us a tour, you were talking about, and look at the flooring, and we saved it. And I said, oh my God, we could finally see a flooring, because before it was so dark, we couldn't tell what color it was. So I'm so glad to be here today. Class of 91, Milby Buffs. It is an honor for me to be here today representing the HISD School Board. I know we also have some elected officials that are Buffs. Are you a Buff? No, you're not a Buff, but Carol is. Carol Alvarado, our state representative, could you please stand up? I'm gonna go with my Buffs first. We also have Congressman Green. I'm not gonna hold it against you. I know you graduated from the North Side. That's right, I remember. Congressman Jean Green, please. Senator Sylvia Garcia is also joining us. State Representative Mary Ann, and I forgot your last name, Perez. We also have, you're a Buff too? Oh my God! What class? All right, and we also, here he is, Councilmember Robert Gallegos. And if I miss, is there anybody else here? I'd like to get all the elected officials that may be present. And we just, the board, HISD School Board just voted to have a caretaker for the seat of District 3, and that's Mr. Jose Leal. Here we go. He's also joining us. So as the superintendent alluded, Mr. Rodriguez, Trustee Rodriguez, one of the things that him and I used to joke about all the time, because I represent Austin High School, which is his high school, and he represented Milby, and I used to go, take care of Milby for me. I said, now take care of Austin for you. And so I like to believe that I am doing a good job taking care of Austin, because I know he's done an awesome job of taking care of Milby. We wouldn't be here today had it not been for Trustee Rodriguez making sure that Milby High School got the funding that it needed. We would not all be sitting here today doing a ribbon cutting at a campus had he not fought for this school. So yes, that deserves an applause. But also, for all of you alumni that are in here, I have to get the commercial in. There are t-shirts being sold in the back. So make sure you continue to support your school. Come back, give back. Milby needs of you. We may have a brand new facility, but their needs are still great. So I welcome and challenge you all to continue to give back to your alma mater. Continue to give back to your teachers, to the students, to the fabulous marching band. I was having a conversation with the teacher, Veronica, and I forgot your last name. And I said, you know, who needs to go to New York and Broadway? I said, we have one of the best marching bands right here, and they are on Broadway. So I know we're going to be hearing so much more from them, but on behalf of the school board, I want to thank all of y'all for joining us, and I want to thank the Milby staff that have made this move into this building, because I know it was no easy task. So all our teachers, staff from Milby High School, thank you so much for making it such a smooth transition. And to those students that are coming into this campus, enjoy your campus.
Now I would like to introduce our principal once again, Mr. Roy de la Garza.
I should have warned you, you're going to see a lot of me tonight. First of all, I heard that it's hard to hear in the back over here. If anybody's having any trouble with the audio, we do have some overflow rooms in the area. The biggest one is in the auditorium. Just go down that hallway, take a left, and all the way to the back. And there's actually one right upstairs here. From there, I was approached by some students right after Mr. Rodriguez had passed away, and they initiated a process where they wanted to make sure that he was honored tonight. As a result of that, our ROTC has a presentation that they'd like to make to the Rodriguez families. Are they ready? I'm looking for someone in uniform. Here we go. So one of the things that I learned about Richard Carranza when I first got here, I went up to him and I introduced myself as the principal of Milby High School, and I think his first words coming from Manny Rodriguez were, "Yes, I know, you need a pool." Well, because of that fight, we are complete. We do have that building, and about this time next year, we're going to have a pool out back thanks to that. Now, I have a lot of elected officials who made their way out here today, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to address the crowd for just a moment. I'd like to start with Congressman Gene Green, if he'd like to come up, please.
First of all, I want to thank Carol Alvarado and all the Milby Buffaloes for letting me come to the east side. Senator Gallegos, if he was here, Manny would have let me come over here. I grew up in a neighborhood similar to the Milby area. I grew up in, now that high school is called Northside High School. And the loyalty for that high school is mirrored with what Milby is. The tradition of Milby over the last 3 or 4 generations of families who have gone to this school. And I'm proud to be here tonight to congratulate HISD and the principal and the superintendent for this. And I'd like to present to the principal a flag that flew over the Capitol that I'd like to present to you. It flew over the Capitol on June 14th, Flag Day. And by the way, if you lose this one, it's easy for me to get a flag that flew over the Capitol. So call me. Thank you.
I've always wanted one of those. All right, next I'd like to invite up Senator Sylvia Garcia, please.
Thank you so much. And like Congressman Gene Green, I'm not a buff, but Carol, can I please be a buff? I don't know what it takes, but you know what? Some of us are willing to do it, because I know that from the first time that Senator Gallegos mentioned that he was here from Milby, I don't know anyone prouder to be from this school than he was. And he was always pounding that on me, that I was always afraid that when I crossed the freeway, he was going to check my papers to make sure that I was okay to come to his end of the district. But let me tell you, those of us in Austin are fighting for you every day. We don't stop. We want to make sure that not only this school, but all the schools in our areas here in Houston are the best that they can be, because we know that you can be the best that you can be. We want to be about building bridges and not walls. We want to make sure that we talk about classrooms and not bathrooms. We want to make sure that when we look at a school, that it truly represents the community, the students, and everyone around them. So, Mr. Superintendent, you can count on us to continue to fight for good education and making sure that all public dollars stay in public schools. We'll continue the fight. We'll continue the fight, and Mr. Principal, Mr. De La Garza, I'm waiting for my honorary certificate. Thank you all very much, and que viva los Buffs!
And now our very own Milby alumni, Carol Alvarado.
Welcome home, Buffaloes. I'm sure that many of our alumni here walking through the halls, so many memories that we have here for many generations. And one thing that the East End, that we hold dearly to our hearts, is that we went to Milby High School and we walked through these halls with great pride because of the people that we became. Dr. Carranza mentioned that we were having a conversation about the number of elected officials, people that came out of this school. And so to the students, good things come out of Milby High School. You have to work hard, believe in yourself, and take that Milby pride with you wherever you go. I am really glad to see the Rodriguez family here, and I'm really happy that we are honoring Manuel today. And I'm also, I saw the Gallegos family here, and I couldn't help but get a little teary-eyed because Sylvia and Jean, you're right. If Mario was here, I feel his presence, but if he was physically here, I know that he would be so proud of Milby High School and this beautiful, beautiful building. And what a great principal, Mr. De La Garza, one of the greatest principals in HISD. He is loved by the faculty and by the students, and that's a good sign of a good leader. And Dr. Carranza, we are so glad that you are in our city. And I know you've just been on the job a few days when I sent you a letter about that pool. So we are very happy to our trustees, Deanna and to Manuel, for their work in making sure that our Milby High School gets that pool back. Congratulations. Thank you.
All right, now if I could have Representative Mary Ann Perez, please. Who is also a Milby buff.
Thank you, Principal. It is wonderful to be here. This is a great day in our community. It almost brings tears to my eyes because I remember walking these very halls and thinking, oh my God, it's different, but it's the same. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Manuel, because he did work very hard to make sure that we got the school that this community deserves. And like Carol, I really wish Mario was here, because his smile would be this big. I mean, he was a big man, and he loved this school as well as he loved his community. So thank you very much for everybody who was involved in getting this school there. I think I had that T-shirt, the yellow one with the blue M, and too bad it didn't last as long as I've lasted, because I would have loved to worn it tonight. But thank you again very much to each and every one of you, and God bless Milby. One more thing I wanted to add. I did tell Dr. Carranza, when we had those 9 elected officials, those standing elected officials, I wasn't sure if it was we all drank from the same water fountain, or maybe we all shared the same locker, because obviously it was in different years. So choose your lockers carefully and drink from every water fountain. And you really can be anything you want to be. Just never give up and never stop trying. Thank you.
And last but certainly not least, Council Member Robert Gallegos.
Good afternoon. I'm proud to say that I was born and raised here in the East End, and I'm the youngest of 7. So I have the pride of saying that I have Buffalo and Mustang in my heart, due to the fact that my brothers and sister came here to Milby. I, like Manuel Rodriguez, went to Austin due to the fact that I was zoned to go to Austin when I was in high school. So again, I have the pride of the Buffs and Mustangs in my heart. And I know that 2.5 years ago, I received calls and attended meetings with Manuel in regards to the concerns of many of the parents in regards to the closing of temporary closing of Milby and what was going to happen. But look at where we are today. This beautiful campus, and due to Manuel Rodriguez and all his efforts, proud to say that this school is going to be here again for decades to come, and proud to be here today to celebrate. So thank you all for being here.
Okay, so here's something interesting. Not only were we celebrating Charles H. Milby today, but we actually are honored to have Charles Milby in the house. Charles Milby, would you please come up for just one moment, please? He's not the same Charles Milby. I'm just... Thank you so much for coming out today. We had a special recognition for him coming out for us today. We're giving him a picture of Milby High School.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can't imagine how thrilled I was when I found out that Charles Milby was coming to my grand opening. Also, if I could please get a member of the Rodriguez family to come up. And also, in honor for everything that your husband did for our school, same thing, I would like to honor you with a picture of the school.
I also would like to recognize any family members from the late Senator Gallegos. If you're in the house, please stand. mention, to also let you know that the family has started a foundation, a scholarship fund to honor our beloved Manuel Rodriguez. As you all know, we just recently named our board auditorium after Manuel Rodriguez Jr., so you will always remember him every time we have our board meetings. But we also want to make sure that you all remember him and his legacy continues. Manny, I always called him Manny, so Manny Rodriguez has a fine arts initiative, and it's something that he started here in the East region. The feeder pattern is going into Chavez High School. That his next goal, which shall be accomplished, is to have the feeder pattern of a high school performing in visual arts coming into Milby High School. But we also know that in order to make things successful and great, sometimes it requires money. And so we need you all to remember to give back to the school, but also to give back to this new scholarship fund that has been founded, and you all can look it up, Manuel Rodriguez Jr. STEAM. So it's Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics on to lead and inspire Memorial Scholarship Fund. I ask that if you make a contribution, $25 is what this starts with, everyone says, right? To the Memorial Fund that's going to be able to give scholarships to students that walk the hallways of Milby, of Austin, of Chavez, and so many more of our high school. Maddie's legacy of giving back shall live on, and they shall live on because the people that are sitting here today that will contribute to this scholarship fund. Again, it's the Manuel Rodriguez Jr. STEAM On to Lead Inspire Memorial Scholarship Fund. Thank you.
It's difficult to express how big an impact this building will have not just on us as Milby students, but the community as well. I am very excited to be part of the first class that will graduate from this new building. It is something I will always remember. On behalf of all Milby students, those in school today and those who will walk these halls for years to come, thank you to everyone who helped us make this amazing new school possible. A special thank you to the people that advocated and fought for us. We are forever grateful. Before we move on to what we've been waiting for, I have a couple of housekeeping notes. Following the ribbon cutting, you are welcome to take a self-guided tour of our campus. Milby staff will be stationed through the building to answer any questions you might have. It's close to dinner time, so feel free to stop by one of our concession stands and to support Milby in the process. On the final note, immediately following the ribbon cutting, a few of us will gather in the courtyard behind me, like this one, for a small memorial service for our beloved trustee, Manuel Rodriguez. Please feel free to join us as we gather to say a few words and then release butterflies in his memory. I know he would be so excited to see us all here today. Can my fellow class officers please step forward? Before we cut the ribbon, I would like to present a bouquet of roses on behalf of the senior class officers to Mr. Rodriguez's beloved wife, Virginia Rodriguez. We will also like to present a yellow rose on behalf, since Mr. Rodriguez was a veteran, on the seating reserved for him. Now, of course, it's the time we've all been waiting for. The ceremonial ribbon cutting. If you were given a card to participate in this ceremony, please join me by the ribbon now. I have no idea.
I'm all about being good.
On three. 1, 2, 3.